Hello and welcome to How to Play Bowling Solitaire, a game for one player. So if you like me, you like going to the bowling alley and doing some bowling. And while there, you like to play some card games. And sometimes you bring a card deck that has a bowling alley theme, or maybe it's just a bowling theme. Well, there's a lot of card decks that are like that. All kinds of cool art, all kinds of cool things. And sometimes you just play bowling games at the bowling alley. But let me tell you, bowling alleys are good places for card game meetups. So today we're playing the Sid Saxon version. The man, Sid Saxon, pictured here with as many games he's created. He's created a lot of them, and this is a solitaire that he's created. So what you'll need is a single deck of cards. Take out one red suit, one black suit. Take ace through 10. The rest of the cards discard. You'll need 20 cards in total and a bowling score sheet. You can either make it by hand or you can print one up, your choice. You'll then need to assemble a 10 card pin stack and then 3 fans of cards. First of 5 cards with the last one face up. Second of 3 cards with the last one face up, and the third of 2 cards with the last one face up. When playing this game, it is important to know the last digit of all the cards. So we do the sum total of all the cards and we get a sum total of 50. The next important rule is to know which cards cannot be knocked over on your first bowl. The middle card cannot be knocked over by itself, nor can any card on the back row be knocked over. Individual cards can knock down 1 to 3 pins that total their face value, or 1 to 3 pins that total the last digit of the card's face value. This 4 could knock down a 4, 14, or 24 total 1 to 3 pin combination, as long as those pins are next to each other. Same can be said with this 10. This 10 could knock over the 9 and 1, or the 9, 1, 10 as their total equals 20. Once the pins are knocked down, you'll discard the balls into a discard pile and reveal the new cards underneath. If no pins can be knocked down with the cards available, you will then record this as the first number on your bowling scoring sheet. In this case, we have 5 pins remaining. That means we have knocked down 5 pins. We will write a 5 on our score sheet. We will then choose a card to discard into the discard pile and continue play. So we continue to play cards until we could not play any more cards, and we write down the score, or we finish the frame and we write down the score as a spare since we had one failure earlier. If we did not have a failure in the earlier card play, we would have had a strike. A strike is going to be worth 10 plus the next 2 balls, whereas a spare is worth 10 plus the next ball. So now let's just give a quick demonstration of this game being played in fast speed. I have my scoring card and I have my special 20 deck of cards, and I'm going to go ahead and do my 5 cards with the last one face up, and then my 3 cards with the last one face up, and then my 2 cards with the last one face up. Then I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit because that's kind of, yeah, that's perfect now. So anyways, with this game, you have to think about adjacency, and you got to remember you can only knock down the middle pin if you take one that's on the outside first. Somehow you can knock down the middle row of the middle pins. Now you cannot go for the back pins until you've already made one knockdown. And remember, as far as this game's concerned, to relate it to the real world, as long as you make a play, as long as you make a knockdown of some sort, you continue as if it's one ball. So even though you've launched multiple cards, it's not a second ball until you have a failure. So if you manage not to have a failure at all, and you get through the whole thing, you have a strike. If you have one failure, then you count your pins. And if you have the second failure before all the cards are knocked down, you don't get a spare, but you get a total score less than 10. So you left an open frame. Same with bowling as the real world. And I really enjoyed this game. It was a lot of fun. So I changed my mind on that one. Ended up leaving 9 pins instead of a perfect spare. But I probably didn't have a spare in that. So each time we do that, we just shuffle the deck and we redo our pin stack and our balls. And we just keep going like that. This is a fun solitaire. It's a little bit more involved. And it's basically a bowling simulator, but I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I think you should try it. It's just a simple pack of cards, a piece of paper. So there I took out the middle frame, which apparently you're allowed to do. as far as my interpretation of the rules. Remember, my interpretation might not always be the best, so do check it yourself. Looks like I failed the very next frame, so I guttered that last ball. But yeah, always check the rule book that I provide in the description just to make sure I might be playing it wrong or you might have a misconception. This is a little bit involved, so you definitely want to read the instructions in the rule book before you attempt, because there is an adjacency rule. You can't knock a pin down in the middle until one on the outside has been knocked down. So I can't knock down the 5 and the ace right now if I had a 6 in hand, because that just doesn't make sense. A bowling ball just does not do that in the real world, so it's not going to do that in Sid Saxton's Bowling Solitaire world either. So definitely always check the rule book. No matter what game I'm showing you, definitely read it just for added understanding. Because you never know, maybe I made a mistake in the video. In fact, I make several mistakes in these videos. I see it all the time. After I'm done editing and I've watched it, I've already broadcast it. I made one for Island of Cards Solitaire. There was a mistake in that one. So always check the rule book, because sometimes these might be the second, third, or fourth time I've attempted this game. My real goal with this channel is not perfect instruction as much as it is taking these games that were buried in pounds and pounds of dirt or in the ocean of game ideas that are out there and giving them some exposure. My hope is that by doing that, these games get breath new life, and somebody will try them. And if somebody tries them, that means the game lives on. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a win. So hopefully I do a good job of that, and you do appreciate it. If you do, definitely like and subscribe. And as always, if you actually like to play this card game out in public, come to our subreddit, Card Game Meetups. And if you click under the show more in the description, you'll be shown all the pertinent links, including written instructions, the music, and other content creators, as well as the Card Game Meetups subreddit, and a link to a Discord channel where people discuss card games and all sorts of other things. Do check out Gather Together Games, one of my favorite game instructors out there, one of the best in the world. Hogwash Gaming has a lot of different games. Learn Tarot Card Games, the best source for learning tarot cards on the internet. Matthew Newman has some wonderful solitaire videos. Do check out Stellar Solitaire, which is software implementations of solitaires. Riffle, Shuffle, and Roll, you never know what he's going to do. Is he going to do a commercial game, a free game? You never know. Taylor's Trick-Taking Table is mostly commercial. Triple S Games, also commercial, free. And Veslako is mostly free print and plays. Wonderful channel, check it out. And she always wins mostly commercial games. Do check them out as well. And if you're interested in going on a vacation where you can actually play some cards, I do recommend Branson, Missouri. You see they have this wonderful junk store that sells all sorts of card games and board games. And then go right across the street to the Branson Board Game Cafe. Everything is organized and color-coded. Here they have this whole system that shows you how easy a game is to get into, or if it's difficult, if it plays well with one or two. Nice retail section, but you're mostly paying for the library of games. There's all sorts of games you could try out, learn, and they also have other people there. They have signs that say, hey, if you want players to come to your table, you could put that sign on your table. It is always a wonderful experience, and you could try Bahama Taxi there. So do check out the Branson Board Game Cafe, and do like and subscribe, and I will see you next video. And I want to thank today's musician today, Justin Nielsen. He has a fantastic talent. Do check out his channel. He's got a lot of different pieces on there, and they're all extremely good. And if you actually made it this far into the video, let me know in the comments what your favorite fast food restaurant is. See you next video.